Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial with Loyal Fire Tuts and Tech. In this tutorial I was just going to go through how to compress a kick drum, but instead I'm going to show you a little bit more than that, and I'm going to show you how to get your kicks just a little bit fatter, more punchy, and just to sound a bit harder and tighter as well. So basically this is what we started with. This is the kick that I've put in. It's a really natural sounding kick, unprocessed. I know these days you can get your hands on kicks that sound really good, you know, samples and things like that. But hopefully I'm going to show you some techniques so you can have more control over your sounds, you know, no matter what kind of kick you're working with. So this is the kick. Okay, so really natural acoustic kick. Sounds a little boxy, sounds a little bit weak, not tight enough, not big enough or punchy enough. Just so you can hear what we're aiming for. This is what I've ended up with. Okay, so it sounds a lot harder, a lot more punchier, more tighter. I'm adding a bit of bottom end as well that is actually going to be in tune with the track, so that your bottom end can fit better, you know, with the key of the track and fit better in the mix. So how I got there, and also I think it still sounds pretty natural as well. But it's knocking, you know, unlike the other one. You can control the bottom end here. Okay, so how I got to that was, first of all, I've took a bit of the bottom end off because I only want to compress the top end of it. And I'm completely destroying it on this first channel, so I'm basically parallel compressing it, but I'm only parallel compressing the top end, not the whole of it. Got my attack the fastest, got my release the longest, because I don't really want it to sound punchy, I just want it to sound squashed. And we've got a ratio really high, so it's basically limiting it. And then on the second one, I'm taking off bottom end again, and I've got my attack up to 10 there, 10 milliseconds. So I'm just letting through the very beginning of it, the attack of it. I'm letting a little bit more actually, just to, you know, get that knock through, but compress the rest of it just to make it sound a little bit tighter and more punchy. So I've got my release really fast, so it's just grabbing hold of it and letting go of it really fast. So let's have a listen to them two together now. So as you can hear, so we're bringing out a bit more of that knock. And then what I'm doing is I'm driving it a little bit, just to give it that little bit of grit, and just to make it drive a little bit more. Overdrive is good for, if you use it very subtly, it can make things sound a little bit louder than they are. So your levels are not going to go up, but your sound is going to sound a little bit louder, especially, you know, on bottom end things, low frequencies. So let's have a listen without the overdrive and with it. So it's just adding a tiny bit of distortion, but you can't really hear it, and it's just bringing out the harmonics in it a little bit more, making it hit a little bit harder. So now it's got the attack and it's got the knock, but it doesn't sound full enough yet, and it's a bit boxy as well. So what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to add some low end to it. So how we do that is, I've got, you could just use the low end of the kick, by the way. You know, you could just not take out so much before you compress it, or you could just parallel it again so that you've got another copy of it, but you're not compressing it, and you might just take a bit of the high end off and just let the low end through. But what I want to do is have it in tune with the song. So we've got it on a C here, and we're just playing one long note, but I've got a gate on it so that that's what it's doing. So if we play it So it's just giving that bottom end to it. Obviously you can add and take away this. You might want to listen to it on a few different systems, and it depends what you've got going on in your track. You know, if you've got a sub bass on a synth or something like that, or a bass guitar, you can change this accordingly. And also you can just have it in subtly so that you can't really hear it that much. You know, it's not really, you're not losing the attack. You still got the punchiness, but then if you play it in a club, you're going to hear that bottom end. Okay, but now we want to control how round the kick sounds and, you know, how boxy it sounds. If we want to get rid of some of that boxiness, or we want it to knock a bit harder, then what we can do here is anywhere from like 700 hertz to about about 2.5k, 3k. If we add or take away them frequencies, we're going to get either more roundness and less boxiness, and less knock, or more knocking and more punchiness, you know, more of that boxiness. So if we add more, if you listen, there we're bringing out the hit of the kick a bit more, and we're making it knock a little bit harder. If we wanted to make it sound less like that and make it sound rounder, we could take out them frequencies and make it sound rounder. Okay, so the headphones that I'm listening on at the moment, it does sound quite round as it is. It doesn't sound quite boxy or knocky. But if I take my headphones off and listen on my monitors, it sounds quite boxy, and it doesn't really sound round. So I want to kind of get a balance between them. So I'd probably have it around there. And I've already done a bounce of what I've done, and this is the setting that I had it on. I just did a -2 dB or 1k, just to make it sound a little bit less boxy. But obviously I'm going to listen to that on different speakers, and it depends on the track, you know, whether it's cutting through or not. So this is our end result. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial, guys, and you can find something useful out of it. If you have, please give me a like and subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. So it's not compressing all the time, so it's only compressing, like as we can see there, it's constantly compressing. So we want to get it so it's allowed to breathe.